EMEA representative in Berlin. And Tom, this is where we decided it's gone the distance, it's gone to map 3, and we're here on ICEBOX as the pistol round is about to kick off. We will see ACEND on the attacking side, and by the looks of it, the A side is under threat.
Oh, the A side's always going to be under threat. Have we got a shorty? Okay, how is this going to work? I'm all for this. I've seen it on Jet before. Because you dash in, look, pew pew, but how on earth is he going to make this work on a Reyna in an aggressive pistol round? He's hoping there's someone a little bit closer. The fact is there isn't, and actually going to get tagged up by the drone. That'll be the extra piece of information. Can't afford to shoot it, and almost gets it done, but doesn't find the kill onto Chronicle.
Well, I can't say I expected the fight to go differently, especially because they even saw that Sheriff when they tagged him up, right? When they revealed him, they will have seen, hey, that classic looks kind of chunky, but they still pushed him down. They took that fight close range. Fair play. Sometimes you got to have the balls to do it, and Defo certainly does. He's coming down middle, holding off that rotate and securing the B side, essentially keeping this 3-man hold in position. Now, Chronicle, very low on health. He did get the kill, but wasn't able to heal up off of it. He's going to try to use his low health to his advantage, playing that sneaky little corner, bait for his teammates, potentially go down or trade out afterwards. I thought he had a gap in that wall. It looked like it, but it's safe. It's secure. He's got up above, and Chronicle's got one. Healing up, almost takes down the planter, isolates him, and allows his teammates to follow up on it. Further pushed by Redgar, lights up CNED, and he's all alone to clutch this out. 3 on the board already, though. Nats and Shados remain. They still have to defuse. His HP is desperately low. And both of these players have shields to work with, so it is easy peasy. Although it did get a little scary for a second, Gambit will walk away with the pistol.
Only CNED can make that look close. Like that's a 4 versus 1. He should have been dead within seconds somehow. In my mind, I'm like, could he win? Like, surely not. But
30 seconds left.
A ludicrous pistol round. I'm expecting more of the same. This is also one of the maps as well where I feel like you see the most randomness in results, like in terms of upsets, in terms of just or stomps almost, and like sheer aggression just winning you the map. So the fact that we have some of the most individually skilled players in the world currently in this server gets me very excited indeed. I also want to premise that we've talked about the winner a lot. We've been, the winner gets that spot. The loser, if I've not mucked up the bracket, which it's very possible I have. I was looking at the nice little number graphic that we've seen. But the loser will face Forza or Team Liquid. And I will say, lower bracket Team Liquid is one of the scariest teams in the entirety of EU and EMEA. So, like, the fact is, we're looking at this as like, the other team will probably get through anyway. But it is a very real possibility that they won't.
Mid.
Yeah, well, look, this is definitely your best opportunity. Just one map away from closing it out, and, you know, not having to face Team Liquid in a lower bracket would be pretty nice. The pressure, I suppose, alleviates a little bit when you think about the fact that they have that lower bracket run, but I doubt that that's going to be in anybody's mind right now. As far as these players on this server are concerned, there is no lower bracket. It's now or never.
Yeah, it's the background stuff, the coaches, that's their job to think about. Think about the next game. The players in the server, their job is to win this one. And well, as we've already pretty much premised, it can go either way. Now, this is the first time we're going to see some weapons actually on the board. CNED, he's got his operator in the first possible moment. And on the other side of things, well, there's some weaker weaponry. Now, you do have Chronicle able to drop down on the shields because he'll be able to devour and heal himself back up. And that gives him an extra rifle to play a little bit more aggressively with. We've seen this composition played a million times. Sentinel's one of the ones that is always brought up with how aggressively they play this A site, with basically just 2 duelists looking to try and frag their way through it. A lot of teams have picked that one up. For now, though, it is looking like we're going to see the B hit, and this puts a lot of pressure onto Nats, and I bet you wish he had his cam right now.
Here.
The downsides of not playing Cypher, but you know what? He's going to have to retake, isn't he? Well, potentially. Because ACEND are moving towards that A site. They've shifted their focus in Chronicle. We've seen it many times before. Element, the one that spearheaded, made it a staple of the A site defense. The solo Reyna, he's still going aggressive. No shot landed, which means he can't escape. And Defo even gets shut down up above. This leaves the site into ACEND's control. A very tough retake for Gambit, considering the weaponry they have and the utility as well. They even had to use Shados's wall right at the start of the round because Killaz had revealed him in the close corner. And that means that they can't even afford to kind of block off these angles a little later.
It's about as awkward as a position as it could get for Zeke. He's just farming, padding those stats. Last man left is Shados. And even an extra kill here would be fine. For a bonus round, it's not really much of a problem. Get an extra ultimate orb. I think that we saw at the beginning when talking about X factors for this squad. I know that we sort of mentioned that you normally lean towards Defo. I normally lean towards Nats. But we saw the in-game leader of Redguard lean towards Shados. Now, this is a map where I actually agree with him, because the amount of times I've seen Shados walk in on a retake that looked impossible and find double kills, I can't count. And I won't say that I've watched a million CIS VODs. I've definitely watched a fair few, but it's one of those things where he just seems to be able to do it even versus the toughest opposition. So I would say, let's see what he can do in this map. For now, though, solid round from ACEND. They're going to have a decent bank of cash behind them and still got a full buy for this.
Chronicle not quite giving up on the solo A-holds. He's gone aggressive this time. I actually don't know what people typically call that position, but I've always referred to it as element ever since the absolutely insane plays that we saw from that man on OG. Shame we don't get to see more of him these days. A little wall up for the crossover. They're very worried about that operator in the hands of Defo, and they're right to be. That wall isn't down. Defo gets away with murder. Now he's going to destroy that drone, hopefully before they can spot the Reyna. And I'm not sure if they will have seen him. They definitely did now. And again, no escape for Chronicle. Defo does well to trade it back, but the site is being overrun. Shados is in. He's running in to try and take a fight. That is a brave play when the rest of his team's locked out by a wall, but he's made it out unscathed.
Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. The man is just disrespectful. He doesn't care. He normally finds a lot of impact from that position as well, but this time it's not really been necessary so far. CNED homed in on the angle. Counter operator on the other side, but in fact, Redguard's taken that away to allow Defo to try and gain some more space with him. Starzo is going to turn it into a 3v3, try and go for a little bit more, but Defo's still going strong. His third kill of the round already. Nice shot from CNED, and now we're going to see the Blade Storm on either side, but this time Defo will come out on top. It's Gambit to nail their third round. The operator will be retrieved at that. And for ACEND on the other side, there should still be a purchase.
Little res as well to finish things off. Get another weapon in there, the economy res. We talked about Defo a bunch. I told you this guy, he's just... We've had so many scrims against him in the past when I was on Alliance. You know, we would scrim Gambit. They're always good to show you the flaws, but sometimes you lose not because of something you did wrong, but because this guy just pulls out some of the nastiest, quickest shots that you can find. I genuinely think at times, at least in scrims, dude is much more annoying to play against than CNED.
Oh, he said it. Chat, get him. He said it. Like, that's the end of Mitch Mann's career. It's over. Sorry.
I wouldn't say much.
See you later.
Yeah, it's a bit more. It's like it's a close fight.
He's backing down.
I'd certainly rather. But at the end of the day, I think all Jets are great, and I just want them all to have a fun time. And as long as that happens, then we're all winners, aren't we?
Of course. Participation awards, we love them, but they don't get you to Berlin. So, yeah, there you go. 3-1. The buy coming out from ACEND actually is not that great, but that's because they have invested a heavy amount of it to get CNED another operator. They are looking like they'll get themselves an afterplant. The spam coming through, wall being broken, and Nats is actually going to deny that altogether, even putting down a snakebite to make sure they can't retrieve it instantly, and actually starts pushing into his own, taking a little bit of damage, and Zeke just goes straight through it, has to dismiss to get out of there as well. A 4v4 that maybe never should have been, and they've retrieved the spike once again and start to take this into their own hands.
Oh my. A great recon by Killa has really set them up for that. It just left Nats with nowhere to hide, nowhere to go to try and dance through his own utility to even stay alive. Now Defo forced to save this operator, 1 versus 4. They will probably be hunting him down. They know what weapon this man has in his hands, and they definitely don't want him to take it. In fact, that updraft might have been hurt. He's certainly being spotted now. They need to be so careful. Dashing back towards the site. There's still a lot of time on that clock, and there's players pretty close. Zeke spotted on the corner. Good shot by Defo. Still trying to stay alive, and he connects a beauty onto Killez. Sitting down patiently, knowing there's another player towards the pipes, the spam coming in, and the shot doesn't land this time around. Defo will finally be dealt with, but he certainly made a mark into that Ascend buy.
Yeah, I think it's worth it, though. I don't know exactly what the finances are going to be like for Gambit, but the last couple of rounds have been pretty costly. To get rid of that operator might mean that we don't actually see it coming into this round, and well, so far the operator has been the A-site defense, so it takes a pretty big chunk away. In fact, it's completely destroyed their economy. Shado's going to be the only one with any sort of primary weapon, and just going to be some pistols. So Ascend with the chance to really build into this half now and actually get some money in the bank themselves.
Here.
Here comes the drone again, the staple of this entry, clearing the corners. Defo hasn't been spotted. They're up above him. He's given his position away, though. Good shut down by Ascend. And deal with Redgar on the backside. Should be able to get this planted easy enough. Jados has once again gone for a bit of an aggressive fight. He gets walled in and just keeps on going, rushing them down. But Nats is alone. A sheriff in hand. Plenty of players that he can potentially pick off, especially Bone Cold, super low HP. But unfortunately, he won't get anything. And that flawless round couldn't come at a better time. Ascend have just built up a massive bank.
It's one of those maps as well where I'll be honest, I was a little bit sad. Like when Zeke came into this team, I was like, that probably means I won't get to see the killer's Reina anymore, because it didn't make a lot of sense. I will say I enjoy Zeke's Reina just as much. that entry duo maybe at least the most terrifying in EMEA, but I think, well, if we get, hopefully when we do see Ascend play in Berlin, I think it could be one of the most terrifying in the entire world. I can't think of too many that match up to it. I know there's probably some NA fans crying in chat, screaming maybe one or two names, but, you know, yeah, sure. I'm hoping that these guys will be able to prove themselves on that international scale. In fact, I'm hoping we see both of these teams there.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't give a damn if SEA wins Masters, as long as it isn't NA. That's my only wish. I couldn't care less who wins it, as long as they aren't a North American team.
I'd be happy if, like, Korea won it. Like, legitimately.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, I'd love to see Vision Strikers do incredibly well. But for now, we've not lost all hope. Don't worry. We still believe in EMEA. And these are the two teams, I think, happy to... Well, yeah, it'd be mad if he just shot through it. He's going to get a kill anyway. Surely not. Surely not! He goes into the smoke! Most people retreat! Not this man! Defo goes forward into his own cloudburst, and while you blink and you'll miss it, that round was over in seconds.
How? The only question I have, Tom, and this might not surprise you, it is how. We're gonna need to watch that one back later. Wow.
So this is analyst Mitchman coming out. He's gonna tell you from his professional career within Alliance how.
Spike down B.
I've seen it so many times from the other side. You know what I mean? Like, the guy is just crazy. What he does doesn't make sense, but it's beautiful. Like, who stands there with an operator? Okay, sure, you're gonna peek that, go down for the mid peaks. Yeah, sure, why not? Who stands there when you smoke it off and then lets them push in and then stays aggressive? He's a psycho, but it works. I love it.
And speaking of aggression, after they lose the early man, they want to fight back. Shadows, he actually gets two. The second kill comes through, but there's a res available. It puts it into a 4 versus 3. They're going to need this man to pop off once again. The dash will at least get him back into the site, but well, you better believe he's not done just yet. So many opportunities to re-aggress. The slow actually still gives him an angle to peek around. He could get around the back, but CNED is ready for it. And now Zeke looks to take control of the rest of the site. There is a flank, Mitch, but it's a little bit far behind from where they'd like it to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Nats had the option to accelerate this, but definitely going to be something that's expected, and you see that with the recon going down. Ascend are conscious of the flank, and they've got plenty of players to cover it, and that's the main thing. If these players on the site manage to drop one or two more, that was damn close. You got to give Nats an A for effort on that one. But unfortunately, As he only finds the 1 kill, Redgar will be looking to save this weapon, maybe do a little bit of extra damage to ACEND on the way out. Remember, they had that flawless round not that long ago. They definitely have the credits stacked up, and the ult economy's going pretty significantly in their favor. Redgar, he's running in. He's making a lot of noise here to grab that operator, and he might not be able to get out, though. Oh, he's made it. Okay, fair play.
What?
He's out of there with the op.
Yeah, with how much impact we've seen from Defo, fair enough. I think it's worth the risk. If he goes down, yeah, sure, they're probably not going to have it in the next round anyway, so I guess it balances out at least a little bit. But yeah, this is almost feeling like that classic match of ICEBOX where there's just no like chokehold over the map at the moment. Like, whenever we see an A-site battle, it's 50-50. Like, who's going to show up in the round? Who individually is going to pop off? Who is going to win that duel? The main issue I've had is, like, Chronicle's job is to get aggressive. Like, the point of the Reyna is to be able to dash it or to get out of there using the dismiss. Oh my god. I could watch these two fight each other all day. All day. The player you think is going to win every duel doesn't.
That's the beautiful thing about a lower bracket. Screw the team staying alive. It just means we get to watch at least one of these guys again. And that's good enough for me. With 4-4 on the scoreboard, it is definitely time to step it up when it comes to Gambit. They're up against a lot in terms of hardware, in terms of ultimates, and certainly in terms of manpower, because they're that one ahead. They're sitting pretty right now. Gambit are slowing it down. Yeah, they got that 3-man B stack. Nats wants to go for a little bit of a peek on the back of the drone. Good connection onto Zeke. And that's exactly what they needed.
It's slowed all the way back. The problem is these aggressive pushes we're seeing from Chronicle, even if he just goes down, it works as an almost early alarm system for the rest of the team. Any noise that's made from this point out will give that information over. And because they're now pushing into mid, they're going to know that this push is coming in this direction. Chronicle, realistically, if he can get one, he can get out of there. Chances of that could be slim, though, as I feel like they're going to expect him at this point, and they do. He does, however, get the kill, but he can't escape.
Oh, man, that was a damn good attempt. Staying alive up top. ACEND rushing over to the side to get this plant in. Shados could deny it. He's spraying away. He gets there, but not in time still. Can't even get the kill. Nats eliminates Bone Cold, but it's CNED in a 1v2. He's dangerous to flank, though. Is he aware of it? No. The timing perfect by Redgar to close this round out and put Gambit back on the board. A spectacular comeback, having lost the early duel right away. I really felt like that was ACEND with all the ultimates they had as well, just snowballing into it. And they get caught. The big thing they avoided there, Tom, was the Viper's Pit as well. When they get to the site, they're already able to deny. Like, by the time the spike gets planted, they're already taking fights. The snake bite takes them down afterwards. That Viper's Pit goes up, it's a completely different game. And it's this man here that did a damn good job of slowing them down. I don't know how he survived.
That's what I was going to say. Like, the time that was wasted here is the reason that they don't get that online, is the reason that the snakebite fell, and is the reason that they had to plant within the snakebite in the first place. It's because they just didn't have the time to do anything else. So Chronicle's aggression this time pays off in his favor, and I feel like ACEND are going to feel a little bit silly about that one, with one player almost dancing in their face, wasting a few extra seconds.
Now this is going to be a very different approach by ACEND. Quickening the pace a little bit and eliminating Chronicle right away. He's not going to be a thorn in the side of the late round this time. Zeke could even go a little bit more aggressive here. You can already feel him jumping over, and it's a bait for CNED to take Nats down. Wow, beautiful play. The Shados is stuck behind this wall. There's a small gap for him to try and get through. Operators seem to be the dominant force of this match so far. CNED on top just about misses, and that gives the opportunity here for Gambit. They are only one behind. The res brings it up into their favor a little bit more, but Starzo completely ruins any hope they had of that one. I started to see the scales tip into Gambit's favor, Tom, but you just never can rely on it being a clean round when Starzo's alive.
See, I know. I can always tell when Starzo's cam's frozen because he's not dancing after he wins. Like, if he's looking serious, then it's not Starzo live. There's no way. No, that was a great round from them and a lot invested into that one. Like, not only... I think we saw 3 ultimates. You had the Hunter's Fury at the beginning, you had the Res come through, and the Bladestorm to try and close that one out. So, in other words, Gambit used almost everything to try and bring that one back and get absolutely nothing for it. Now, financially in the bin, surely not. He's actually just going straight for Sova. He's trying to catch him with the drone in hand, but instead, thankfully, at least for Killers, his teammates had his back.
Now that's going to be the plant down for sure, and a retake for Gambit with weak weapons on the B site and losing players right through the wall. Zeke's taken 2 of them without even seeing, and okay, Defo shuts him down, but there's plenty of players left to hold on to this one. CNED tagged up, and the Sheriff desperately trying to find something. Shock darts on the way through, but there is no one to follow up on them. Redgar. Oh my, okay. A quick double. He knows there's another player close, but just can't get it across the line. 6 for ACEND, but once again, it's not clean. That's the beautiful thing about this. Every single round, there is always someone to step it up. And you know what, Tom? I don't want to do this, but at the same time...
No.
Spike planted.
I mean, we love Kill Eyes on Reyna. We really do.
We haven't seen it.
On Sova...
Nope.
It's not quite working to the same extent as it did in the past on Reyna. Let's say that.
I don't know what you mean. I haven't seen anything.
Well, he's not going to kill yet, Tom. That's
no,
that's
la 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 la. Sorry, didn't hear anything. CNED though, he's got lots of kills. In fact, he might have enough for the both of them. He's going to win that opener once again. Just thriving on the attacking side. Chronicle, he couldn't see a thing. Just pre-fired the angle in the hopes of finding something, and he's getting more and more aggressive this time. Isn't able to dismiss away. That's Mitch's sign that Killers is now on the board. And well, I don't know if it was necessarily the difference maker, but it now puts Nats
that was all
to a 1 versus 4.
That was all Killers. His round right there. Let's see. He's going for more, going for double, but Killers can't get there in time. Damn it. You know what? What I will say is that I don't actually think it's strictly fair what I said. That Killers on the Sova. Killers is not shooting people very well right now. He's having a bad game. That is for certain. However, his recons have been insane. Like, I can think of at least 3, maybe 4 rounds where his recon directly resulted in them getting the opening frag, in them entering into a site and burning up utility in the pistol round, as we saw when they trapped Shados in the corner. We saw Nats get completely destroyed on the B site by the recon tagging him, by the drone tagging him. The harassment that he's been able to deploy has really made Gambit uncomfortable, which has given them, his teammates, a lot of space to follow up on kills, in particular CNED and Zeke.
Here we go. The replay op finally got a few seconds to breathe after what was a stacked first half from the double Jets. And already, we're going to have a brawl in the early stages of the round. Really nice shot dart coming in from Killers, and Zeke! He's just going to shut it down with CNED. An easy pistol round, it looks like, as Nats again, well, it looked like he was almost setting up for the afterplant. Not really going to be much of an afterplant at all, as he's now going to try and kill everybody remaining. Maybe at least get closer to the Viper's pit. Would be nice. Nope, nothing.
No consolation prize. CNED survived on, I think, 1 HP. He then started to get healed up. That is 8 on the board for ACEND with the pistol under their belts, and a big threat for Gambit, losing out on that one. Already behind by 2 starting out the half. The pistol goes against them. If they decide not to force buy, we are most likely looking at 9 rounds on the board. Such great shock darts there from Killers. My God. And this is what I'm saying, you know, his utility on Sova has been spectacular. This guy's definitely on Average Jonas's Discord. You can tell.
He scanned their whole team and then shock dart killed another, so not a bad start to the round whatsoever. It's going to be a minute investment into this one. A few pieces of utility. Zeke even playing up top with a Bulldog is going to be pretty tough to clear. Oh. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's getting a bit awkward. He's actually just going to go in with the classic. Screw the Bulldog. It is his secondary weapon in this round.
He was really just sending that one. You know, I like Gambit's early approach. They avoid the scope and this case obviously being a Marshall. It takes CNED down. But now it gets tough because they're really kind of gambling on the surprise factor, right? On just rushing it down on the speed, let's say, not so much the surprise. But now that there's a rotate in, that there's 3 players on the A side, soon to be 4. They don't really have a great stance when it comes to a lot of these fights. Bone Cold no longer taking the double damage. He can survive another shot or shock dart in. And this is looking like it's going to be very clean indeed. Only CNED that falls. You couldn't ask for a better follow-up round.
Yeah, look how low they are, though. They could have easily got 4 kills in that one, just a few pieces away. I also think like it's a little bit petty, but I think if you're going to put that much utility into a corner to clear someone, do it at the same time. Like there was no way Bone Cold survives that if the shock dart lands at the same time, but instead he's able to fall back. So again, I'm being a little bit pedantic. It's a pistol round, not expecting much from Gambit, but they could have made that a lot more costly than they did. Sure,
I can see that. Okay, what are we going to be seeing here, Killaz? Let's see these shock darts go down. Oh, I hate Jonas does these all the time.
It's the B push.
This is the first. Oh, he missed it. He missed the second dart, but hey,
a tear just went down Jonas's cheek.
That right there is an average Jonas lineup. Make sure to learn that one well. Killaz up close.
The roof.
Going to be challenged. Nice stuff. Gambit open up the mid control. Now they've got a lot of options. In fact, they still have their wall on Shadow, so they can even go up and over if they want to.
It might be a little bit risky in a round with SMGs on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, mostly. They'd actually have a couple of rifles, and on the players that you'd probably want the rifles to be on as well with the performance we've seen so far. But again, this is Gambit all over. Slow, methodical. They have players watching. No chance that Bone Cold gets past that angle without a bullet hitting him in the face. This is a Gambit's perfect round. An early kill, they wait for players to push, pick up the second, and now they can just wander into the side. Like, this is almost exactly how it would have been planned from the very beginning.
It's very uncharacteristic when you think about, at least for you and I, Tom, what you think of with CIS teams, but CNED's coming in.
30 seconds left.
Catching them from behind. Nat's already down. Player up above's being spotted. There's a little bit of pressure on Gambit. Been a very good early round. They get their post plans, but now they don't really have any ground of their own. They're kind of stuck in the middle of all these players, and CNED and Starzo are shutting them out. Okay, Defo manages to return another, but the numbers are now just equalized, and Zeke does well to find one, heals himself up. It's going to be the battle with Defo, but he's only 8 HP. He needs the headshot as he comes around the corner, and the dash is not going to work out. Zeke somehow gets that round with CNED, with Starzo, and one of the better retakes that I've seen in recent memory. That is, that's going to put a pretty foul taste in Gambit's mouth.
I want to go back to, like, there was a quote. It's a quote by a man called Ryan Birthday Central. And he said at the very beginning, it's like, when there's 5 players alive on an A-site retake, it's almost impossible. And Ryan is not wrong, Mitch. That's the thing about that quote. I'm not trying to throw Ryan under the bus, although I am maybe slightly Twitch chat game. But that shouldn't have happened, especially not with 3 players alive. The problem is, ACEND are ridiculous.
Hey, Tom, you know what? I'm gonna have to step in here, okay? I'm gonna have to put my foot down for one. I'm all for throwing some jabs, making some fun of Ryan, but let's be real here. No, don't do it to him on his birthday. Come on.
Sorry.
Pick a better day.
I'll wait till. Oh, wait, no.
Give him some slack. Oh, look at this push right up through the tube. The kill to trade it back and take Zeke out. Looks like Gambit are out for revenge. They're not happy with the outcome of the previous round, and I don't think that's going to be to anyone's surprise. But where do they take it from here? The wall put down very early. It's something we'd see FBX. You know, they would still have their wall at this stage. They'd keep it for the late round and give them more options on where they want to go. But obviously, with it being a weaker round, they want to just fake out that control on the B side and then go up through tube in through middle.
I think it's more likely that the Angel dies with the wall than places it early. With
Definitely.
what we see with him, it's more likely it never gets placed at all. Now, Killers, that's an important spot, but this is a really awkward position. Luckily, he's got a man alongside him who doesn't really miss. And see you later. There's no way the both got miss a shot. A little bit of revenge for the last round, I guess. 11-5. ACEND just 2 rounds away for booking their spot at their first international LAN. They didn't make it to Reykjavik. They weren't in Iceland, but they can make it to Berlin. The first team to do it from EMEA. There's a few other teams that you probably haven't heard of that have already got through.
One enemy remaining.
But this is the spot that they've been wanting. Yeah, I like Vision Strikers. They're really good. Zeta as well. I like them.
Something about sandals, or I don't know, one of the NA teams got in as well.
Blocking sight.
CNED early. Not going to get too much done. Chronicle, though, he's caught a very aggressive push from Starzo. Maybe thinking this was a bit more of an all-in B play, or just trying to do something a little bit spicy with the wall that he's been placing.
Sideways. How is he playing that? He's on the ceiling. My God.
That's how he gets his lineups done properly.
If
he does them from above, an aerial view.
That's why he missed his lineups. all the blood's rushing to rushing to parts of his body it shouldn't be, and he's in danger.
The man literally defies gravity. That's how good he is.
He should be playing Jet. My God, never seen it before. He's preparing for a moon mission after this. Well, ACEND have lost a man. Now, how do they respond to this? I mean, normally you'd push up and try to take space. You're against GAMBIT, though. You can't do that. They've tried. They've tried many times. Stars have tried at the start of the round. We saw Bone Cold with the A push and get caught a couple ago. Oh, CNED somehow stays alive. I could watch that 10 more times and I still wouldn't understand how, and I feel like that's going to have big impact later on in the round. Hit behind the wall. Nice shot. Defo's down. The trade is in, though. Going to be on Zeke. 10 seconds left for that spike to be planted. They have to get it done here and now. I'm caught on the crossover. There is no way. 12-5 after an impressive previous map from ACEND, one that they weren't comfortable on. They are now on map and series point. This round here, or any of the future ones, I mean, they've got plenty of opportunities to close this out, Tom, will secure their spot in Berlin.
Yeah, I think anybody would be an absolute fool to bet against them now if they'd been doing it before. But I also want to point out one of the cool things. So Empress is an ultimate that I don't think we talk about very much as being like highly impactful other than in clutch situations. The way Zeke uses it there, though, is something I really enjoy, because obviously the plan for Gambit, you put the wall down, or the barrier orb, as some people call it. Weirdos, we call them. But they put that down to try and get themselves the after plant. Empress, well, you got slightly faster firing speed, so he just destroys the wall and gets the insta-kill. And at that point, we see this so often. The second you don't get that spike down initially, it is just absolute havoc for the attacking team. It's so difficult to then come back from that spot because you've got all the utility coming down from the likes of Bone Cold. You've got the snake bites denying, and it just becomes an impossible scenario, especially when you still have Zeke just spamming onto that position. So he wins them that round, and now look at what's coming up. You have got a pistol, sure, a Blade Storm. Okay, so it's not really just a pistol. You've got a few extra rifles, a Spectre or two. It really isn't a good position. The only saving grace for Gambit is they are one orb away from 3 different ults.
Get out of my way!
And the downside is that ACEND are in the same spot. So they got Bone Cold, Killa's just about to get theirs online. A Viper's Pit, a Hunter's Fury, and a Blade Storm could be a very dangerous set of abilities to have on. Oh, here's the wall up eventually, and they're not ready for it. Killa's gets rushed down. Great play by Gambit. Had the option before and avoided it. Now the dash into sight. CNED knows there's a player below. Has to dash out of the way. Knives out. And somehow Zeke is just destroying them. CNED delivers the knives to Defo's head. And Shados is the last man standing. He has to hold on in a 1v4. And it is not happening. 13-5. That will be the Masters 1 champions as the first team to lock in their place as an EMEA representative in Berlin for Masters 3. That is incredible. I'm blown away by the fact that we ended up in such a one-sided final map. 13-5? I mean, ACEND just gave them no room to breathe.